At night, some deserts sing so loud they can rattle a house. It sounds like a distant organ, a giant wail, or sometimes a single deep note that seems to come from the ground itself. For centuries, travelers called it the voice of ghosts, war drums, even the breath of sleeping gods. The sound is real, and no one expected the desert to be the instrument. The first shock is how clean and musical it is. You stand on a dune and a single tone pours out when a slope slides. It can be low and booming or a long humming that rolls for minutes. It isn't wind. It isn't thunder. It is the sand itself acting together like a choir. Scientists thought it was impossible until they watched an avalanche of grains and heard a note emerge. The surprise, every grain matters. When just the right size of dry sand moves in a thin layer, friction locks the grains briefly, then releases in a synchronized way. That collective slip produces vibrations. Those vibrations couple with the air and the dune's shape, turning a chaotic tumble into a pure sound. But the story gets stranger. The pitch isn't set by wind or the whole dune. It's set by the depth and speed of the flowing layer, and by an internal resonance inside the dune that acts like a hidden cavity. Imagine thousands of tiny metronomes clicking in time because the motion organizes them. Change the grain size or add a little moisture and the song vanishes. Researchers recreated it in the lab. They built transparent dunes, tuned grain mixtures, and slid layers while microphones recorded the birth of tones. They saw patterns run across the surface, like waves of synchronized sliding. The dune behaves less like a pile of dirt and more like a living membrane that can store and release energy as sound. There's an escalation in what this means. These booming dunes are natural amplifiers, teaching us how collective motion can produce coherent signals. The same physics shows up in avalanches, in crowds, even in some earthquakes. A desert singing for hours becomes a laboratory for understanding how chaos organizes into order. Stand on one of those dunes at dusk, and you hear something ancient, the planet coughing up a single note after millions of years of wind and time. It's not just a sound. It's proof that simple pieces, when they move together, can create something magnificent and unexpected. If this gave you goosebumps, imagine what else the earth is whispering. Subscribe for more mysteries from ancient landscapes and hidden life, and share this so someone else can hear the desert sing.